Tomorrow's vice presidential debate here will feature two contestants with an awful lot in common. Both are middle-aged white fathers of three with law degrees. Both spent time in Congress and as governors. They have conveniently flexible positions on trade and a willingness to talk about their faith. Chief legal correspondent Shannon Bream looks at how social issues may play a part in tomorrow's event.
Two men who grew up Catholic, served as governors, and now find themselves battling to be the next vice president. But their ideology on key social issues couldn't be more different. When it comes to abortion, GOP vice presidential nominee Governor Mike Pence is unequivocal.
I'm pro-life. I don't apologize for it. I truly do believe that Roe versus Wade was wrongly decided and again overturned more than a century of pro-life laws that had been enacted through the democratic process in all 50 states.
The Democrats' VP pick, Senator Tim Kaine, says he's personally pro-life but supports upholding Roe v. Wade.
I've taken the position, which is quite common among Catholics. I got a personal feeling about abortion, but the right rule for government is to let women make their own decision.
The two candidates don't agree on the issue of same-sex marriage either.
I'll always believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, but my conviction on this matter is that that's an issue that ought to be left up to the states.
My full, complete, unconditional support for marriage equality is at odds with the current doctrine of the church that I still attend. But I think that's going to change, too.
The bishop leading Kaine's home diocese responded, quote, despite recent statements from the campaign trail, the Catholic Church's 2,000-year-old teaching to the truth about what constitutes marriage remains unchanged and resolute.
There's a very striking contrast between these two vice presidential candidates, one who is now evangelical, but I would argue actually is much more consistent with Catholic teaching than Tim Kaine.
The Pence-Kaine comparisons come just days after Pope Francis spoke out against schools teaching transgenderism, though he says the church should welcome all people with compassion and mercy. When asked about the upcoming election here in America, he said he would address only a fictional situation.
Study the proposals well, pray, and choose in conscience.
Kaine said he supports the Hyde Amendment, which blocks taxpayer money from being used to fund abortion. Hillary Clinton has vowed to repeal it. As vice president, he would be the tie-breaking vote in the Senate should it come to that. Kaine said he will support Clinton's decision as president, regardless of his personal views. Brett.
Shannon Bream in Washington. Shannon, thank you. Fox News correspondent Jennifer Griffin and chief political correspondent Carl Cameron have been traveling with the candidates for months now. Let's get their perspectives on where we are and what we can expect from Tuesday's debate. Months. I mean, you guys have been nonstop. Jennifer, what about the Clinton campaign? What do they expect out of Tim Kaine, and what are they hoping for tomorrow night?
Well, I just spoke to an aide, and Kaine has spent 4 full days of mock debate prep down in Raleigh, North Carolina. He's taking a page out of Hillary Clinton's book, and as one aide put it to me, he is a policy wonk, and he has binders full of policies that he is studying. But he also realizes this is about the top of the ticket, and he's going to try to force Mike Pence to take a position on things that Donald Trump has said about his taxes and about things he said about women.
And Carl, Governor Pence has been pretty good about that. I mean, even in the toughest things to explain, he's done cleanup on aisle 4 pretty well for the Donald Trump campaign.
And they expect that there'll be a good bit of that tomorrow. Part of the challenge for Pence really has a great deal to do with how things went after the first debate for Donald Trump. The reaction hasn't been all that positive. Part of Pence's mission, whether he likes it or not, is to try to reverse that, change the momentum, get back on offense as opposed to having the top of the ticket on defense. And he has had some policy differences. For the first couple of months of his candidacy, he would not say that Mexico is going to pay for the wall that ticket would build. He has begun to say those things. And for him, the art of the turn will be getting off of defense and defending Donald Trump and going back to the attacks on Hillary Clinton and her policies.
The basic message he's going to hit is change. We are the change agent.
And following Donald Trump's lead over the last couple of weeks, he will identify the problems the country faces and then lay them squarely at the feet of Hillary Clinton and Democratic policies and challenge her to explain why things are so lousy and why she hasn't been able to do anything. And that has been working. It's just that it was eclipsed by the last debate performance. And one of the questions is, can Donald Trump keep off the Twitters during tomorrow night's debate?
I think that's something that, in fact, the Clinton campaign is worried about, that they will be watching watching Donald Trump to see if he tries to eclipse his own vice president.
Yeah, and the over-under whether Senator Kaine speaks Spanish?
Well, you have not heard him speaking Spanish that much because they haven't been getting the response from the Hispanic community that they had hoped for when he was chosen as vice president.
And how many make America great again?
And secure and safe.
Okay. Guys, as always, thank you. You guys are great on the trail.